Can you retrain to be a lawyer at age 50? Well, I'm going to look together with you at this diagram and we'll go through how long it would take and the considerations to take into account. So the first point is that there's no age limit set by the SRA on when you can become a solicitor. It's a respected and rewarding career path if you're looking for a career move. Just from my personal experience, when I switched to study law when I was in my early 20s, there were a number of more mature students who went on to have very rewarding careers in the law, who were age 45 and also people in their 50s. So it's definitely one to consider. But the great thing is now it's easier to make that switch, as I'll illustrate here. You need to take into account though that if you hit the age of 75 is the statutory age of retirement for judges, if you're considering a judicial path. Now, in terms of making the switch and the time frame to consider, a key point is whether you have a degree or not. Because if you have a degree, undergraduate degree, that's a prerequisite, and that could take you 3 years to do. But let's assume that you have a degree. Well, theoretically, you can do the SQE, Solicitors Qualifying Exams, in 6 months. I mean, that's not taking into account the preparation time, but you could do SQE 1 and 2 as illustrated in this part of the diagram. I could do that all within 6 months. And another important factor though is the qualifying work experience, because you need to have that under your belt, and that's going to take 2 years. But it may be, if you're switching careers, that some of the experience you have would count as qualifying work experience. That needs to be taken into account, but that's probably the biggest time factors. Now let's just assume what I imagine is the most common scenario. You're looking to switch, you do have a degree, but you don't have the qualifying work experience. Well, you could prep for the SQE 1 and 2 exams in 6 months intensively, if you like. Check out our course, which would help you on that journey. You could do that in 6 months, and then take the SQE 1 and 2 in 6 months. That would be very intensive, and but it certainly could be done. And then you could take the qualifying work experience immediately afterwards for 2 years, and the whole thing could take 2.5 years. Now you could even overlap these elements here, where you could, let's say, especially for SQE2, you could overlap you prepping for and taking SQE2 with your qualifying work experience, and that would shave off another few months. But yeah, it's a great opportunity now, and of course previously you needed to have a training contract. You now don't need that, so you can just switch over, take qualifying work experience, let's say at a citizens advice bureau, or in a number of different contexts. Perhaps you could link it in with your career. Perhaps if you've already reached maybe a senior level in your existing career, maybe there's a legal function to your current company which you could use and switch roles, and then have within the company and have that experience count as qualifying work experience. I've put in here to allow 2 months for the final SRA checks and admission to the role of solicitors, so conduct checks and that sort of thing. So yeah, that broadly is the time frame. And you can see on these other options, look, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are different scenarios depending on how you do it. So you can switch the sequence here. You could have undergraduate degree first, then qualifying work experience, and then you do SQE. Or you could do the SQE exams, then do the degree, and then do the qualifying work experience. And again, here you could do qualifying work experience first, then a degree, then SQE exams, and then just for absolute completeness, you could do the qualifying work experience, then SQE, and then do your degree. That's permissible as well. and then very last point, you could do the SQE exam, then qualifying work experience, and then do your degree. So lots of different ways of doing it. But as I say, I think the most common position might be that you have a degree, you have some experience. It may or may not count as qualifying work experience, but you could do the whole SQE process within a year, and then how long it's ultimately going to take is dependent on the qualifying work experience. So I hope that's helpful. If you are going down this journey, then yeah, you have my full support. Check out our course on the link below, and also our free download to get started. Bye for now.